Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Fronti.
Welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show for the fourth quarter of the show, or as Don likes to refer to it, the saddest quarter of the show, because we have to leave you this Saturday. But hopefully you have a great weekend planned to spend time with your family. And today we have Myles McNamara with Comfort Keepers In-Home Care sharing the studio with us, and also sharing with us kind of one of the really, really important things that you should take inventory of what's going around your parents or your grandparents or the elderly in your life, or somebody that has some sort of lack of 100% capacity, right? Something that early recognition of something that's wrong.
Quite possibly your spouse if you're the older generation. Yeah, wherever it applies, you need to just be observant.
And so tell us, we talked a little bit about those observations and things that could be around the house, things that have to do with personal care, things that have to do with the way the house, whether it's in order or not, if things in the fridge are spoiled. I could share with you one of the early signs my grandma had a problem was she stopped cooking. Mm-hmm. And she'd been the family chef our whole lives, and just kind of overnight, like within 1 year's time, it seems like overnight now, but it was probably within 1 year's time she stopped cooking. And you're like, how does that happen?
Well, a lot of times you see our senior loved ones start to withdraw from, activities that they normally enjoyed. They start to lose confidence. One thing that, is prevalent among our seniors, and a lot of it is times it's self-imposed, is isolation or depression. But it's also very prevalent when they lose a spouse. I mean, that's huge. If, they've been married 40, 50, 60 years and they lose a spouse. And then they become very isolated. And we talked about, off air that hearing loss is something that we all overlook with our seniors. I mean, if there is hearing loss and they're no longer participating in the conversations, they start to withdraw. Obviously, they start to lose confidence. And then all of a sudden, people are saying, well, what's wrong with grandma? She must be, having some cognitive issues. It's simply she may need a hearing aid, know? And so, I mean, these are the things that once you start to recognize the decline in any area, you need to reach out. You need to address those, issues. If grandma or grandpa have lost their spouse for many decades, companionship is huge. I mean, with Comfort Keepers, we do a lot of hands-on personal care, but more often than not, I would say that just the companionship aspect of what we do is to re-engage them in their social activities. Maybe they went to a bridge game once a week, but they no longer want to do that. You mentioned your grandma didn't stop cooking because what's the reason? Was it because, she was having some cognitive issues? Was it because her eyesight was bad? Was it because she could no longer hear well? All these things are easily fixed and addressed. There are so many resources out there to, go out and have a simple hearing test, maybe have a neurological workup to see if everything's okay. But most important is make sure they're staying engaged and maintaining their social activities. Technology is huge these days. I know our listeners at KHTS can't hear it, but for your future YouTube watchers, I brought something in that we've affiliated with a company called GrandPad.
Mm-hmm. And it's a cool little pad, guys. If you can, check it out at donandgino.com. It's about a 7-inch or 6-inch. I'm sure it's an Android tablet of some sort.
It looks like an iPad mini, but it is so not an iPad. This was devised by a company called GrandPad. It was devised for and by seniors. There was a lady who has since left us, 104 years old, who was instrumental in a lot of these things. And what the GrandPad is it's a closed network that connects families and friends. So there's no dangers of hacking or phish or scams or what have you. A designated family member is what they call the family admin on their smartphone app, and they create the web of contacts for our senior. It could be family, friends, grandkids, whoever. And what that gives them the ability to do is, and I'll show it to your YouTube channel, everything's a one-touch.
It's super simple. Look, I could tell you, I'm looking at it right now, and all the buttons are big.
All the buttons are big, and it's a one-touch.
It's color-coded, so they could remember the blue one is email, the green one is phone calls.
Right.
Super simple.
And as I said, it's a closed network. It's 4G through Verizon. It comes all included, so there's no Wi-Fi network that you need. It becomes customized. It opens it up. You flip open the lot, and you push one call, and you can be video calling.
I see it's got a wireless charger, if I'm not mistaken, right? You just set it on the cradle.
Thing. Seniors can't plug things in, so everything's wired. You're absolutely right, Gino. You set it in the stand, it automatically charges, and a lot of folks just like to use that as the stand itself.
If nothing else, I welcome you to go to our YouTube channel and take a look at this thing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of it. Okay, and I'm going to post that on our, let me do this here real quick. The reason I'm going to take a picture of it is because, boy, am I going to have fun messing with my dad with this thing. So if nothing else, go get the picture so you could have grandpad jokes.
Right. And the thing about it is we've affiliated ourselves with GrandPad. We offer it in our core services. But if folks wanted to learn more about the GrandPad, they could go to comfortkeepers.com/GrandPad, GrandPad. There is a code that you would enter because there is a charge, $55 a month if you go through the Comfort Keeper affiliation. Otherwise, it's $75 a month.
Oh, okay. So you can get a discount.
Yeah, but as I said, it's a closed network with as many family or friends that you want in the network, and there's a photo aspect to it where real time, the grandkids, anybody can download photos to grandma or grandpa. They can actually take photos themselves on this GrandPad and download it to the family network as well.
I like this a lot because, like I said, almost everything when we talk, I can relate it to what happened to my grandma and how things were handled. And actually pretty happy that most of it was handled well, but it could have been better. And this is one of those things I feel that could have been better is the maintaining engagement. I think that part, I think that could have been done better. And especially because we had a lot of family overseas. And although we're engaged with the family overseas on Facebook and things of that nature, that was way beyond my grandma's technological skills. Right. Where she could have grabbed this and easily sent pictures back and forth. It's super simple. Like I said, when you look at the menu, you definitely know what you're doing. And there's some games on there, too, to keep them mentally engaged.
Well, there's exactly right. There's music. There's a music app on here that plays music from their generation, and GrandPad has a library of hundreds of thousands of songs. So what comes stock in the GrandPad, they
don't have to get Spotify or Pandora or anything like that.
And then, of course, there's games for solitaire, slots, blackjack, whatever this, again, keeps us mentally stimulated. There's even a weather, so everybody who's involved in their closed contacts and network here, Grandma and Grandpa always love to talk about the weather, so they can push that button and see what the weather's like wherever their contacts are living. And not the biggest, but one of the coolest things about this, Gino, is the email. They can email their family members, but again, seniors can't really use a keyboard and such, so it's actually a MP3 file. So they compose the email rather, and they talk. So when you get the email from Grandma or Grandpa, you will actually hear their voice in your email. So you download that MP3 file and you listen to it, and then you can respond to the email as well.
Okay, again, I think what we've accomplished today is we've talked about two things, and I'm going to try to summarize them in a couple of words here. One of them is engagement, right? Socialization, there you go. You definitely want to keep them engaged and social. And the other thing is awareness, early awareness, being aware that the people in your lives, don't be in denial. Something could be happening. Early signs might be there. Try to pick them up. Try to be proactive instead of reactive. Did I summarize it well?
You just hit the nail on the head. The hardest thing we do as we become adult children is when that pendulum swings where we may have to begin parenting our parents a little bit. They're our heroes. They've reared us. But now it's our turn. We have to start looking out and being aware. And like you said, do not be in denial. If Grandma stops cooking, why might she have stopped cooking? If Mom stopped going to her bridge game, why might she have stopped doing that? Again, they lose the confidence, so they start to withdraw. And if we aren't there to proactively help them to stay engaged and stay social, they will become depressed, they will become isolated, and that's, not to be a Debbie Downer, but that's why the suicide rates among seniors are rising by the year.
All right, so Myles, we didn't talk too much about what your company actually does, but we've done that in other shows. But if you need a little bit of help, and help could be anything, Myles can help you and your family and your seniors, your parents, your loved ones. How do they get a hold of you?
As you say, we provide in-home care on a non-medical level, so anything with personal care, socialization, companionship, whatever they need a helping hand in the home. We're right here on Lyons Avenue, but you can reach us at 661-287-4200 or just go to comfortkeepers.com. and we've been proudly servicing our seniors here in Santa Clarita for over 16 years.
Awesome. Myles, thanks again for all your assistance, not just for the show and our listeners, but also for my family personally. Thank you so much, and thank you for listening to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show every Saturday at 9 a.m. for going on 6 years now. So we look forward to seeing you soon, and we'll talk to you next week on Saturday.